Right. So then, you already mentioned this, the third album, Nasty as They Want to Be.
Right.
That became the huge hit.
Right. Yeah. Me So Horny. I wrote that record.
Right. You wrote the entire record.
Yeah. I wrote that whole record. Yep. As We Want Some
That
Pussy
whole
as well.
Man, listen, I mean, even to this day, every so often, I'll be like, never to the movies, just straight to my house. Like,
Yeah.
like the little lines from that song are so timeless.
Yes, it is.
That album goes double platinum.
Right.
So now
Platinum
you
single
have
as well.
Right, exactly. So now you have a huge record on your hands.
Mm-hmm.
And the Me So Horny sample, that came from Full Metal Jacket.
Right, Full Metal Jacket, yep.
Exactly. So at this point, you guys have a huge platinum single, a huge album. You guys are touring. How crazy are the shows?
Well, the shows were ridiculous. And the shows were so fun. I used to look forward to going to do them because it gave me a sense of, I don't know, I guess a sense of happiness from being around like what Luke and all of his people had going on. Doing the shows were like more of a way of an escape for me. I used to love it. I used to love doing the shows, man. The shows were awesome. The shows were awesome. I mean, that was some of the great times I ever had in my life. Those were highlights just by being on the stage and performing those songs at that time when they were very, very popular.
Well, and the shows themselves were really explicit.
Yeah.
I guess there was one girl that basically put a bunch of water.
That was after Luke. That was when me and Chinaman was out together by ourselves. Now at that particular time, I don't know what Chinaman had going on, but it's like he didn't really care. And we had a set of girls that were really like open-minded and just, really with the whole thing. And sometimes the shows at that point would kind of get extreme. Yes, it was a girl. She was deaf, and they called her Def Jam, and she could, put water, she could put water inside of her and hold it and go to the front of the stage and spray it in the guy's face, and they would love it. And they would love it,
Okay. So this album comes out, is doing huge numbers, like I said. But then with the success, a lot of people got upset over the content.
Right.
And the American Family Association had a problem with it. Mm-hmm. And they met with the governor of Florida, Bob Martinez, who actually started to put some things in motion to actually label this album as obscene.
Right. Him and Mr. Nick Navarro, the sheriff of Broward County.
Exactly. And up until this point, I mean, there's always been like, comedy albums where people talk about sex stuff and so forth, but there's never been something that's been legally labeled as obscene until you guys came around.
Yep.
And I think partially because a lot of those albums were very underground albums. They wouldn't even hit the charts. They would sell maybe a few thousand copies and so forth. None of them were going double platinum or hitting the charts and everything. You guys put all this thing on Front Street, and now the law started to sort of catch up and have an issue with this. And this was the first album that actually had the parental advisory sticker on it.
Yeah, some could say that. I think Dee Snider from Poison to say he was the first one, but if he was, that was for rock and roll. We were the first ones for rap.
Right. And the sheriff of Broward County at the time, Nick Navarro, got a ruling saying that there was an obscenity violation with selling this album. And he actually started to arrest this one store owner for selling this album.
Yeah, what was his name? Charles somebody. Yeah, he did arrest Charles. Yes, he did arrest him. That was in the, I think that was in the Oakland Park Flea Market in Fort Lauderdale. Someone got arrested.
Charles Freeman.
Yeah, Charles Freeman. Yep, Charles Freeman.
Because he sold a copy of your album to an undercover cop, and then he got arrested right afterwards. And then I think right around that time, you guys performed at a club.
Yeah.
And by performing these songs, Navarro got you guys arrested as well.
Well, it didn't get me arrested. I've never got arrested for doing anything to Live Crew. I get away.
Oh, you ran
Police
off.
come, I get away. I had to turn myself in. I'm not going to jail for no rap shit. You know what I'm saying? But just a lot of other illegal stuff out there I could really be doing. You know what I mean? So I run. I got away. I let Luke get arrested.
Right. Right. Well, everyone gets arrested except for you.
Right.
You guys get acquitted. And then the record store owner, Freeman, he actually got his conviction overturned on appeal as well.
Right.
And then right around that time, other people start getting arrested also. There was like a guy in Canada named Mark Emery who was arrested for selling the album. And just all over the country, this is becoming, a very kind of a hot spot. Like, are you allowed to sell it? Are you not allowed to sell it? Are you risking jail by selling it? Which all it did was get everyone interested to see what the hell this album is and what's on it.
It just made us hotter. It just blew us up even more. That publicity just made us just go off of the charts.
Yep. And, on this album, there's a little bit of drama in terms of sample clearance.
Oh, yeah. All kind of shit.
Two
Live Crew is full of drama.
Right.
The whole thing. So are you talking about now, who was that?
Van Halen.
Yeah, Van Halen. Thought we paid those guys. I thought Van Halen got paid. I think it was Roy Orbison for Pretty Woman that was kind of making some noise, as well as, what was that, George Lucas?
George Lucas didn't want the Skywalker name because Luke was actually called Luke Skywalker back then. Luke Skywalker Records.
Right.
So George Lucas didn't like the Skywalker name, so he did a cease and desist, and so forth.
Yep.
And was it around this time that Atlantic Records came in and actually signed the label? Or signed the group? Signed you guys to Atlantic?
Well, let me backtrack a little bit because, the group was supposed to be signed to Atlantic, but remember, it came out to be just Mr. Campbell. Right. They didn't tell us anything about the Atlantic Records thing. I mean, we went to Atlantic Records and we met a couple of executives. They had us in there for like 2 or 3 minutes high and by, and they rushed us up out of there. That whole Band in the USA thing with Atlantic Records, I think Luke tricked us, lied to us, betrayed us, and went and did that basically on his own. By just by just having us to do the work for him on the album.
Okay, because
did that basically on his own, Okay,
because
that's when a lot of bullshit started. That's when a lot of bullshit started.
Right, because the next album was Band in the USA, which was based on what was happening already.
Right,
with the album getting pulled off and the governor and everything else like that. On the main song, you guys actually sampled Born in the USA.
Right.
Which was a Bruce Springsteen song. And I guess, was it the governor that pressured Bruce Springsteen not to give you clearance, but he did it anyways?
Yeah. Bruce was always cool. I mean, he was like, that's music. People are going to, buy or gravitate to what they want to and basically leave us alone. And, we're free to be, artistic in any way that we choose to be. And basically he was on our side. I don't know what kind of ever came after that. I know it was what, Tipper Gore, Al Gore, and Dolores Tucker, and a lot more people that were kind of offended by what we were doing. And they had, raised their heads up to cause a lot of static. But to me, I really didn't pay any attention to it because, it was just all bullshit. The way that everything was going, the controversy that came in, the way that everything was happening internally in the group, it had, it was coming to a boiling point at that time. Enough was enough.
Right. And on that album, you had a song called Fuck Martinez.
Yeah, that was Luke. That was Luke's shit. He was doing all of the chanting.
Right.
Yeah.
And part of the song was Fuck Martinez, which was the governor of Florida at the time.
No, he was Navarro. It was the governor of Florida. Yeah, you're right.
Right. And Fuck Navarro was the other chant.
Yeah, that was the sheriff.
The sheriff that arrested you guys.
Yeah.
And I guess at the time, you guys found 2 other guys named Martinez and Navarro and had them sign off some sort of paper. So in case you got sued, you could say you're talking about those guys as opposed to the actual Navarro and Martinez.
That's new to me.
I read that, yeah. you got to understand that with disc records being what they are these days, back then to actually say fuck Martinez,
Right.
or fuck Navarro, people, NWA was doing songs like fuck the police, but they weren't actually naming the actual police officers in the process. You guys were naming the actual cops.
Yeah, Luke was naming the actual cops.
Right, but you guys are in this,
Yeah.
you guys are thrown into this, whether you
Right.
like it or not.
Right.
Because you're on the album.
Yes.
It's a 2 Live Crew album. So
Right.
here you are, mushed into this. And this album does well. This album went gold, was it? Or platinum?
Band in the USA went gold.
Gold. There
Yeah.
you go.